Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me once again. Today I will be watercoloring the All Might drawing I did a couple of videos ago. If you haven't watched that one, you can click on the card above to see the process from the very beginning. Alright guys, let's get to it. Okay, so with this illustration, I am going to be watercoloring certain parts of it in a different way. Like you probably saw earlier, I was mixing up a lot of blue because I knew I had a lot of sky to cover, and like I've said in some of my past videos, you definitely want to make enough color so that you don't run out in the middle of it and then you have to try to mix that same exact color all over again. So at first I put a very light layer of blue on the paper. My intentions were not to do a light blue per se, it was just what was already on the brush. My intentions were actually just to mainly get the paper wet in these large areas because I wanted to go in while the paper was wet with some watercolors and kind of distribute the colors evenly throughout that whole entire area. So I find that when you go straight with watercolors on paper without prepping it first and you're trying to cover a large area, you don't get as smooth of a transition between colors. You get more of a splotchy effect, and that's not what I'm looking for. In the sky, I really want it to be nice and smooth, and I want a gradient of dark blue to light blue, and that's why I prepped it ahead of time and got it wet, because when you're doing wet on wet paint, they usually blend a lot nicer than when you're trying to go straight from wet to dry. And another thing that I wanted to mention, I know it kind of looks like I just phoned it in whenever I just colored all in this light blue color, like if I was being careless and just not caring about the lines or anything. I actually did this on purpose. I wanted to put this light layer of blue on him because I imagined him being in the background like that, kind of like he's not really there, you know. He is more of an image. The skinny All Might, the sick All Might that's on the building sitting down, he's real, you know. He's gonna be more saturated, and I wanted it to look like it's like almost like an apparition in the background of, you know, the strong All Might. So by doing this light layer of blue, anything that I put on top of that, the colors are going to be affected by that blue in the background, and it's not going to look as vibrant, which doesn't mean that's not a bad thing. It's just, it gives it a different effect, and you'll see once I start putting colors on him, it'll kind of look like he's a little bit more pushed back compared to the foreground. You can also do this after the fact as well. You might get slightly different looks to it or effects, but I think whichever way you go with, you're probably still gonna end up with a similar effect. Maybe in the future I'll show you guys how it looks, you know, one versus the other. And as you have probably already noticed, I am not actually using purple for the shadows. So the reason why I'm doing this is because we have this large area of the sky in blue. So that blue is going to be affecting the overall image. And I think about certain things like All Might's shirt that's completely white. If I put purple shadows on there, it wouldn't look right, because where would the purple be coming from at that point, you know? So that's why I used kind of a less saturated blue for most of the shadows. So you can also see right here, as I'm putting the red on All Might's costume, that right away the red is nowhere near as saturated, and you know, it doesn't pop as much, which is exactly what I wanted for this, because I do like, he's already a big part of the image, so you're not gonna miss him, but I don't want him to be the main focus, at least not right away. I want the main focus to kind of be the scrawny All Might, and then your eyes can kind of lead back to him, you know, in the background. I wanted that to be apparent that he's the background. So towards the end, you're gonna see me use a Presto Jumbo Correction pen. It's a whiteout pen that works amazing if you want coverage. Now this is a thing that you kind of add towards the end, since you won't be able to watercolor over it very easily, but it's a great tool if you want to add some last minute highlights. And as always guys, I'll be linking down all the tools that I use for this illustration down in the description box. You can check it out for yourself. So yeah, give it a look and let me know what you guys think. So guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this illustration. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate the comments. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every week. Until next time, peace out.